the whole world loves the weirdo. Brains are in a rut, but everybody loves a nut.
Welcome back, everyone. We are about to go nuts because Bill Sutherland is the nut boss, as he likes to be called, at Nutsack Food. So good to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We're going nutty because you went nutty.
I did.
More than 20 years ago when you met a nut roaster. What happened?
I had a store next to a nut roaster, so I'd always go by there and eat his nuts. And then I would take his nuts to my place, and people thought I was nuts, and it just kind of went from there. And I always thought, let's bag these up and sell them. Let's do our own business, but I just didn't have time.
Well, before we talk about how you found the time, I know people are wondering, were you drinking a lot when you came up with the name of this business?
Not at all. No, it was a no-brainer. It's a bag of nuts, so I called it a Nutsack.
Well, it certainly is catchy, right? So it was 2 years ago when you really dove into sort of this idea. You lost your tech job. Was it tough to get started back then?
Tough? No, I decided to do it. I'd wanted to do it for 20 years, and I always had a job to do. So when I lost this job, I just said, screw this, I'm going to go for it. And that's my advice to people. If they've got an idea, go for it.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate, just go for it. I went and got the nuts, I bagged them up, and the rest is history.
Well, so you started online, but you've grown so much since then. Tell me about that.
Well, I obviously started the website because that was my profession, and then somebody told me to go to the farmers markets. So I went to a farmers markets. I walked away with a bunch of cash, and I thought, this is cool. So I did more and more farmers markets, and then someone at a coffee shop said, bring some nuts, I'll sell them. So I did. The next day he called and said, I got another place, so now I'm in a wine bar, and then it just kind of went from there.
It snowballed.
And now 45 locations.
That's fantastic. So let's talk about your product for a second, because we've got a beautiful display of the different nuts that you have. Are they roasted and grown in Arizona?
No, the pecans are from Tucson.
So some of them are.
So all across the U.S.
Okay.
They're roasted either in Northern California or here in Phoenix. Depends on the nuts. The seasoned ones are done here. So I have almonds, cashews, pistachios, pecans, mixed nuts, and then 2 seasoned nuts. A Metro mix, which is rosemary and oregano, and a spicy mix, which has cayenne and chipotle.
What are your most popular nuts?
The mixed nuts, the Metro mix, and the spicy.
And now you have a retail store in Cave Creek, which is actually pretty unique. Tell me about that.
It's a quaint little cottage up in Cave Creek. It's 650 square feet, so plenty of room for my nuts. So what I did when I opened it was I invited all my farmers market friends. So over 2 years, I met a lot of people at the farmers markets, became friends with them, and so I invited them. So here's an example of some of the things. We have honey, we have coffee, we have cake pops, which have my cashews on them, caramels, a whole bunch of things, about 30 different products right now, and it's growing every week.
Which is nice because you're giving other local businesses an opportunity
they don't have a storefront.
Join your venture.
Yeah, and it brings things up into Cave Creek. There aren't a whole lot of outlets for some of these small vendors. I even have jewelry and non-food items up there as well.
That's wonderful. So going back to sort of how you began, you lost your job, you believed in your dream and your passion. What would your advice be for success for other people who are maybe entrepreneurs wanting to start something up, follow their dream? Go
for it. Just do it. All out action. Get online, tell everybody that you're doing it, and don't look back.
Well, you've had phenomenal success.
Thank you.
What are your plans for the future? Do you expect to expand some more?
Yeah, a couple things. I'm going to add a few new product lines. Some people want sweet nuts, so look for those. I want to expand the store and build out a kitchen, so we do the roasting up in Cave Creek instead of Phoenix.
Right.
And a couple other surprises.
Oh, good. I can't wait.
I won't share this today.
I want to remind people that you have so many locations where they can find your nuts. And I especially love the packaging, by the way. I should mention that because it's still hand stamped like you did in the beginning.
I hand stamp all the bags, my wife and I, the labels we put on ourselves. This is 2 different stamps. The original stamp that I made 2 years ago.
It's so fun. So once again, you are at various locations. You're in Cave Creek. You can go to buynutsacks.com if you want to find out exactly where you can find his nuts. But again, we appreciate you joining us here on Arizona Daily Mix. I'm so excited for you because this has really taken off, and I cannot wait for the sweet nuts. And I love all the extra paraphernalia you brought here too. It's fun stuff. It is a lot of fun. It's fun stuff when you're talking about the name alone. Bill Sutherland, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. All right, more Arizona Daily Mix when we come back.
Won't you come to my house back at home?